Hello, I am David, and this is a Compassion Tour video log. The Compassion Tour starts September 3rd in Keene, New York. Some of the other communities that will be visited are Montreal, Quebec, Lodi, New Jersey, Louisville, Kentucky, Manhattan, and possibly places in Florida thus far, and Burlington, Vermont was just added. So starting September 3rd through the end of the year, so far there are places that are on the list to have a young man come and share compassion with the community. I'm going to answer another question about compassion, and it is, I am curious about compassion toward people who are selfish, deceitful, calculating, who might, for example, manipulate circumstances to advance themselves at the expense of others. This could be backroom deal-making politicians, it could be corporate executives, it could be backstabbing coworkers. In those cases, there are people who continue to suffer while the perpetrator, as it were, moves forward, amassing either fortune, power, or prestige, all at the expense of people they trampled, fooled, set up. The pain and suffering many far exceeds the gain of one or a few. How do you settle your own heart in these kinds of cases? And I looked up a Gandhi quote. I watched the movie Gandhi many a time, and I looked up a quote, and he says in his autobiography, "Remember that all through history there have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they seem invincible. But in the end they always fall. Always." And I use this Gandhi quote because of his own nonviolent method, his own compassionate method of transforming the tyrant, which at the time was England, into an actual friend and ally. And he did that through love, and he did that through nonviolent means. And as we know, he was followed by Martin Luther King, who attempted to do the same thing according to Gandhian principles. And I believe that compassion, there's two things that come to mind when I read this question. One, compassion, I believe, starts with inner peace. And so when dealing with these people who seemingly may be manipulative or trying to fool you and out to get you, that it is a choice to allow that to have an impact on your own inner peace. And that goes to the end of the question. How do you settle your own heart in these kinds of cases? First and foremost, you settle your own heart through whatever practices that you need in order to achieve that inner peace. And when in doing so, you're able to see what the cause of the pain is in the other that makes him or her act out in such a way that they do manipulate others and want to amass their fortune and power or prestige. And the second part is the forgiveness part, is when that compassion is seen so deeply that it moves into a state where you can actually see the other person's pain and recognize it and find ways of interacting with that person such that you bring out and you touch the love within that other person. And again, thinking about the Gandhi example, he wanted to transform the hearts of the enemy by actually incorporating them in the healing process. which I think can be used nowadays with some of the things that are happening around the world. And I believe strongly that it always starts with the self. In order to see change around you, if you so do desire, that change starts within, and it starts with the practice of continuously expressing love. I would like other people's input on this. I was thinking about this question for the last few days, and I think at this current time, this is the answer that I have. And I think there is more insight to answers to this question. And I think that any additional comments or thoughts from others who are watching this YouTube Compassion Tour video log video, I would be grateful to hear what you would have to say as well in the comments below. I welcome you to add your insight. With that, again, I will cue the music, and I look forward to all the adventures of the upcoming Compassion Tour. And I'm also looking forward to the evolution of what this tour brings through the documentation of these video logs, and to see how the video logs themselves change. And, I'm doing this on a computer at the moment, and perhaps the quality will improve, and maybe the music will, and there'll be flashing lights. And no, we'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple. That's the whole one of the priorities of the tour, is to keep it simple. With that, I will say thank you for the question. And if you'd like to pose your own question, also leave it in the comments, or on Facebook, there's a group / the Compassion Tour. If you go to Facebook and look up the Compassion Tour, you can add your own question there. I receive questions there. With that, I'll cue the music now, and I will say goodbye and thank you. Thank you very much.